Let's be real about Jeopardy.
How's it going, Phyllis? Post
Excellent, man.
draft. Post the draft. Hopefully
Post
everybody's doing
draft,
good.
feeling good, feeling great. Let's get
Yep.
it. Yes.
Everybody thinks they got a good draft until the players get on the field.
Oh yeah.
Or think they have a bad draft until the players get on the
There
field.
you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
Yep.
Man, I wanted to say something like, happy Panthers fan or everything or something like that. But then I just remember how bad the Grizz were over the last week.
Sheesh. Thank you
So,
for the reminder.
I'm doing all
Thanks for
right.
that reminder.
I tried to forget for like an
We
hour,
tried
hour
to
and a
keep
half.
positive here, positivity, all that is clear, but man, that's it's the truth, but it hurts on this one.
Well, we do have some positive, Scal.
There you go.
Hey, look at that.
That's why we're here. Sharky. That's why we're here. There we go. That's why we're here. So yet again, here we are talking about the Memphis Tigers in a really good, positive way. Good and bad, depending on how you look at it. So we definitely want to talk about the turnover or the players coming in, players leaving out of the program over the past week or two. So I think over the past week, a player that decided to transfer from University of Hampton to University of Memphis was Davion Warren. Davion Warren was, a couple weeks ago committed to play for University of Memphis for this upcoming season. He is now since then transferred. He is going to transfer. He's decommitted from the university and plans to play elsewhere. I don't think I've seen if he's committed to another school at this point. But in that same day, as he decommitted and was transferring back out, Tyler Harris has decided to come back. Tyler Harris was on the roster 2 years ago. He left a year or two ago to play for Iowa State. He's now transferring back. I'm not sure if we've talked about the Lawson brothers coming to the University of Memphis. Okay, so we have not. So there are two Lawson brothers, the Lawson family, who big presence in the Memphis area. We did get Jonathan Lawson, who was playing at Wood there last year. He's decided that he's going to come to the University of Memphis play, as well as his brother Chandler Lawson, who was playing at Oregon on last year. He's also decided to come to Memphis. And then also within this past week, y'all's boy Musa Cisse decided to put his name into the transfer portal. I don't think he's potentially going to the NBA draft. I think he's just going to transfer out. So, of course, actually, let's go with the order that's currently on the screen as you have it now, Sharky. How do y'all feel about, some of the turnover, some of the players the player that transferred out, or actually two players that transferred out, Musa and Davion Warren, and you got the Lawson brothers who are coming, as well as Tyler Harris. So, how do y'all feel? And if you feeling froggy, you can definitely go ahead and give us a starting five if you got one on you, but you don't have to at the current moment.
All right. I'm with Penny, man. If you don't want, well, he didn't specifically say this, but his press conference was, "Hey, I want players who want to be here. I want players that's going to buy in. If you don't be here, see you. Musa, jumping twos. Davion Warren, you don't want to compete, jumping twos. It helps to keep Penny to not have to try and play 12 guys.
Hey, man, because we don't need that no more.
So that helps. Shout out to the Lawsons. I did when it was first announced that Chandler was transferring. I did think Memphis was a possibility, and the reason I thought so was because Keelan Lawson came on Jason and John timeless again. He's always said he don't like Tom Bowen. Mm-hmm. Tom Bowen was the person he had beef with, not Tubby. It was Tom Bowen. Tom Bowen's the one that lied to him. He had no problems with Tubby. Tubby wanted his son on staff. Tom Bowen never told Tubby that he had to keep Keelan on staff. Mm-hmm. So in turn, Tubby demoted him, but it had nothing to do with, any just mess with Tubby. It was all Tom Bowen. So he wanted nothing to do with the program due to Tom Bowen. Tom Bowen's not there anymore. So I knew, okay, Memphis could be a front runner. Only thing left is Memphis in the roster. Do they trust Penny to try and play the guys? Chandler and Jonathan both played with East. Played for the Penny in high school, won the state championship with them. So I knew they just had to get past the whole KJ thing, getting booed here. And KJ called their uncle Chuck Lawson and told them they should sign with Memphis once that happened. And they got it passed through with Mama Deidre. I knew it was a done deal. So shout out to the Lawsons. It's on the right that it comes full circle. They're gonna hopefully finish their careers here in Memphis. Shout out to Tyler Harris. It's just a feel good story to have the Memphis kids come back home. Tyler went to Iowa State. He started. For the times I saw him play, he was starting. Sometimes came out the bench as 6-man. But I mean, just go ahead and round it out. It's only right if him and Alo and the Lawsons, Memphis kids lead Memphis back to the NCAA tournament. So that's what I'm down for. Kids that want to play here, kids that's not going to complain about, hey, I'm supposed to be in the NBA after 1 year, like a lot of players that has transferred, like Boogie and DJ. Like these guys are ready to come in and compete, and I think that's all positive for my end.
For sure.
Yeah, Shark, I think you literally took all of our sentiments exactly, man, when you said come back full circle. What up, Savage? Hey, Ching, we ain't talking Eagles with you today, but I know you're a happy man, brother. I know you're a happy man. But you just had the word right out of my mouth, man. Full circle, man. I was really like so excited when I saw Tyler Harris coming back. You know, for one, I got to put on for the short people, you know what I'm saying, that's doing their thing out here in the world. But no, Tyler Harris, just that energy, whether Penny's going to bring him off the bench or not, like he wants to be here, like you said, Sharky. Come back full circle with everything that's going on with the Lawson brothers. They finally coming back. Definitely throw them deuces up to Cisse. Peace out, bro. Like, don't come back either. Like, that's a circle I need to end. What, a 180, a half circle. Just end on a half circle on Cisse. But now, just that excitement that's, you know, still rising for the Memphis Tigers, man. I'm easily excited for it. If you don't want to be here, don't come. And Penny's, you know, getting talent that's gonna be here, you know, 1 or 2 years, which I think he's gonna find his niche in doing so.
Yeah, arguably the transfer portal can be either your best friend or a great enemy. And right now, I think it's actually proven to be a better friend for the Tigers than an enemy. We hadn't had the guy from Hampton yet, and he was kind of on the fence to lead this tweet, stuff like that. We don't even want to deal with that anyways moving forward. And I was holding up 31 for the Moose. He could take that and his free throw percentage on somewhere because that's what he was shooting from the free throw line. If you're not ready to develop as a big man, you definitely came to the wrong school.
Wait, he shot 31% for real?
Yes. You thought we were joking?
Damn, that's 3 out of 10 almost.
No, it is. Yeah. Actually, a little bit less.
I mean, it's a little less, but
yeah. Well, but yeah. So he wasn't doing anything. So let's talk about the positives, right? The good about it, and like we all have stated already, he's getting back Memphis basketball players that, again, I think like that Sharky leading them to Memphis to the tournament. They're building off this NIT that they just had, and again, it took Penny to lock them in with that core, bring them back as well. And I really think they're ready for a push in the NCAA moving forward. And to get Tyler back, it's huge. Tyler knows how to win with Penny, knows what Penny wants in the system. And that's something huge to say, especially in the time of COVID where you don't have as much practice time as you would like to. And so kudos for, again, the transfer portal being more of a best friend than an enemy to us. Again, if they don't want to be here, don't have them here because we have a very, very limited time to make a run for the NCAA tournament. And so we can't have those that don't want to be here present.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to the transfer portal for working out in our favor. Shout out to Tyler Harris coming back home. I think he saw what Penny and the Tigers was able to do for Boogie Ellis as far as him being instant offense for the Tigers. So I could definitely see Tyler slide back into that role coming for this upcoming season. Shout out to the Lawson brothers coming back to Memphis as well. Musa Cisse, we figured that he wasn't going to be a pro right away and he didn't want to stick around. So we'll definitely just chalk the deuces up to him because we all knew he wasn't NBA ready. We knew it was going to take him at least a year. To the guys that left, you know, wish you the best. Do what you do, things of that nature. Davion Warren, I think, would have come to Memphis had not the Lawson brothers decided to commit. But in the end, just for me, is how's Penny going to allocate all these players, how he's going to shape the minutes for his rotation. So I'm happy we have all these players. I'm more so concerned with how Penny is going to allocate minutes to these guys because all these guys are talented. Like this roster is deep, but as we all know, come tournament time and things of that nature, that rotation shrinks, or it has to shrink from 10 to 8 or 9. So, but we'll see.
Definitely want to take something that Sheedy said and kind of right off that for just a second. As far as the transfer portal, if it can be your best friend or if it can be an enemy. And going back to weeks ago or maybe even a month ago when you had DJ leaving, you had I forgot who else was leaving. I can't remember what I'm talking about. Boogie was leaving, and people were panicking like, "Oh my God, what's happening? Like, what the rush?" Just let it play out. Again, I'm one of those people like, okay, cool. If people leave, then that's fine. But let's see who he brings, or let's see who Memphis or Penny Hardaway brings in return, and then evaluate the roster from there. And I think Penny Hardaway has done a really good job of replacing the players that left with, if not as good a talent, or maybe even better. So like I said, you got Tyler, you got the Lawson brothers. I think I'm a really big fan. I think it's Chandler. Yeah, Chandler that transferred in just because that's experience that the Tigers are going to need later on in the season. He played a pivotal, in my opinion, a pivotal role for the Oregon team as they made the run that they had in the NCAA tournament. So I think that will go well for them. And then to what you said, Sharky, Penny Hardaway, he just wants people to love basketball and love the city of Memphis and embrace that. And if you don't, then it's the deuces to you. And I think what he's done, with some of the players that he's bringing in, and then also the players that he's recruiting and offering scholarships to, it's a lot of Memphis people. It's a lot of Memphis people. And so, like I said, he's trying to, get that home field. I think the Lawson brothers, they talked about on Jason and John Sharkey, how, they grew up as Tiger they grew up as Tiger basketball fans. And so you would like for those people to, it's because it's good talent here. So the talent that you have here, try to keep that and then, build some type of, really good program with it. So I'm excited to see, what the roster looks like. I don't have a starting five yet, and I don't think anybody of us did, so which is fine. We have time to come up with the starting five, but I'm just excited for it. And I think the only other thing I have that I have to say is who the hell is going to be his assistant coaches. That's what I want to know. Like, the roster looks good, but who is going to be there to help him draw plays? Who's going to be there to help him develop players is my key thing. When things get tight, when they can't score, like, how are you going to get baskets? And some of that is players, but some of that is putting the players in the right position to do that. So hey, Lana, so I'm excited about it. I think that it shows that if Penny wants a player, 9 times out of 10 he's gonna get them. It ain't too many times that Penny Hardaway's going after a player and necessarily didn't get him. If he wants you, he more than likely is going to get you here. So I like that, but let's see what this coaching staff looks like.
And sorry, if I can interject really quick as well. From a coaching standpoint, I coached middle school and varsity. I coached middle school before I coached varsity. And what I'm getting at is we all know these players came from Memphis East, right? And who was from Memphis East? Penny Hardaway. Who recruited them to Memphis East? Even though they're not going to say that, Memphis East recruits came from Penny Hardaway. So when you're playing with someone in high school and then going to college, I was assuming similar to me going from middle school to varsity with my players. My players knew what I wanted. They knew the scenarios that we were in. It's a little bit better with defense communication. There's like a lot of things get cut down in a way, chemistry-wise and timing, that we don't even have time to do. That is very, very crucial, that I like what Penny has done and how, again, this transfer portal is more of a best friend than an enemy for the Tigers. And even though people may not see that yet, please understand he recruited those players for a reason to come to Memphis East, and there's a reason why they want to come and play for him again right now.
For sure. Good point.
Yeah, shitty. I went to Memphis East too.
He did.
Yeah, he didn't call you. He didn't call you.
That's fun. That's fun.
Hey, if you still want to be a Memphian, man, nobody Memphis calls Memphis. It's called Memphis East.
I know, right?
East High School.
Mm.
East High School.
There you go. There you go.
Come through. Come on. Come through.
Memphis East.
School of Sharky.
That's cute. I'm sorry.
Nah.
I used to hate hearing that, though. I ain't gonna lie. I used to hate hearing that. I get it. It's to distinguish the high schools, but I used to hate hearing that in national media. It's like, no, it's East High School. You can just say East High School of Memphis. Like, it's that that simple.
You're right. All right. NFL.
All righty. Well, in earth-shattering news, just hours before the NFL draft on this past Thursday, I NFL MVP and current Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers has publicly come out and declared that he will not be returning to the Green Bay Packers this upcoming season, which of course sent airwaves all across the entire world right now. So kind of in the same. Well, actually, no. I'll actually go a little different. I'll go Sheedy, Took, Sharky, then Skylar. As far as your thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers thing, and I'll start with Sheedy. Tell me why Aaron Rodgers will be a Dallas Cowboy.
That boy fishing. That boy fishing.
Yeah. The reason why he'll be a Cowboy is because Dak Bay sounds good. And they can have him. And I can also tell you this. Again, Aaron Rodgers at that stadium is pretty good. And so I would love to have him there. I think we can work something out financially to have Aaron Rodgers come be a Cowboy. And why not close out his career as a Cowboy? But to stay on topic as well, where there's smoke, there's fire. And so all of these reports, there's no way you can clean this up and say, oh, no, this was all fake. He wanted to be there the entire time. There's no way you're going to be able to clean this up. The same way you're not going to be able to clean up Deshaun Watson's issues as well. So exactly. I really, really hope that we understand that he's not happy in Green Bay. 2 straight losses in the NFC Championship game for various different reasons have not truly been addressed by the Green Bay Packers organization. So he is the franchise quarterback. He is arguably one of the best quarterbacks, not in the game right now, but to literally play the game of football, I think when it's all said and done, statistically. And so, again, when there's smoke, there's fire. So I really, really know he'll play for Green Bay this season. But, again, Dak Bay sounds good. And Aaron Rodgers to Dallas sounds even better. And I'm sure we can find that jersey that will fit for Aaron Rodgers.
Wait, am I answering the question to whether I think he's going to Dallas or
no? You just give your take and where you feel that Aaron Rodgers is going. I was just messing with Sheedy. I was just about to say, there you go, Savage. There you go. Coach Savage.
Mm-hmm. But no, what I wanted to say, ain't no way in hell that Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Dallas simply because good old Jerry Jones loves his quarterbacks to be able to, be his good boy. And for what I'm saying, from my standpoint, you got 2 jackasses that's going to collide heads if they end up being together in Jerry Jones and Aaron Rodgers. And I call Aaron Rodgers a jackass simply because you wait until the NFL draft to announce that you're no longer happy with your team, which should have been big news from months ago. So, I mean, come on, man. You was on Jeopardy. If you on Jeopardy, go do it. But, like, to announce that you're no longer happy with your team on draft day, taking that time and energy away from the kids who deserved it, who waited all year for this opportunity, you a jackass, bro, and I hope you don't win another ring. But I do want him to go to Oakland. I do want him to go to Vegas, though, because he'll turn Vegas up, and I'm right down the street. So it's like it's a win-win for me.
But what if he did that?
Good luck with that. If he go to Dallas, everything that Stephen A. has said, even though I don't watch First Take, even though even everything Stephen A. says about the Cowboys getting in their own way, it's gonna be 100% true then.
Well, Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers did win a Super Bowl together.
Yeah, he got the hell away from Green Bay, didn't he?
No, Mike McCarthy was fired.
A-Rod got no pressure there.
All right.
Mike McCarthy was fired after a while, so it makes sense.
What?
So
head-on collision, ready to happen.
All right, Sharky, your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers, man?
Hey, man, that's the bad man right there. We all know A-Rod is selfish too. So, of course, he does that on draft day, right? But to your point, man, we knew. Like, it was a smoke screen. This NBA, they did this to you. You did this to yourself. They did it to themselves, man. Trey Nelson drafting Jordan Love last year. That was it right there. Man, let's be real. Then we get to the NFC Championship game. You get to the 4th down, and you decide to kick a field goal from like the 9-yard line. Down by, what were they down by? 4, 7, whatever they were down by.
They were down by 4.
They were down by 8.
4.
Oh, no, yeah.
That was 8.
Yeah, they're down by more than a touchdown, yeah.
Yeah, it was 8. So, took the ball out of his hands and tried to kick a field goal and let, what's my guy? who was that? Let Tom Brady get third down on you.
12.
Then on the day he said he wants out, then y'all want to talk about he's staying here. Then what's the coach name? Matt LaFleur talking about some, hey, we want you to stay, longer than this year. We want to stay for the long. Y'all drafted Jordan Love in the first round. Get out of here. Like, stop it. Chill. That's my thoughts. Green Bay, you did to yourselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So they trolled him. They trolled him that first round pick. That was a troll, bro. They drafted the cornerback Eric Stokes. That was a troll. I didn't even see Eric Stokes. That's the first round talent. Now I understand you don't like Kevin King, but you still don't take a receiver in the first round. Although they got Marvin Rodgers in third round, but bro, that was a complete troll, man.
They're trying to replace their A-Raj. That's what they're trying to do.
No, and Sharky, to that point, here's the thing about Green Bay and about franchises that don't incorporate or have their star player have some type of voice or influence about something. Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks that have ever played the game of football, hands down. And he's more than likely, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say, or I'm willing to bet that he's probably going to finish his career with only one Super Bowl ring, and that's pretty bad. And I feel like most of that has come to the fault of the Green Bay Packers. Like you just said, Sharky, last year they traded up. Not the guy fell in his lap. Traded up to go get a quarterback. Like, seriously, that's what we doing? Like Aaron Rodgers ain't the starting quarterback. You gonna trade up to go get a quarterback, and then to go back a few years ago to fire his offensive coordinator and not give him some form of notice. Like, don't even ask him like how do you feel about this? Like, we may be moving in this direction. Like, how do you, didn't do that. And I just don't understand how franchises don't listen to the star players. Look at if anything, look at what Tampa Bay did with Tom Brady. Tampa Bay brought Tom Brady in, and then okay, cool, bet you want to bring this player, you want to bring in Gronk, you want to bring in X. Cool, let's do that. And look what you got. You got a Super Bowl ring, and the man played 1 year there. The same thing with the Lakers and LeBron James. Okay, LeBron James, cool. We'll bring you in. Who you want to bring in? And there's a championship right then and there. So I just would like for franchises to get out of their own damn way, listen to the star players that you have, and then see if that works for you. Like, don't be so close-minded till you can't hear what everybody else has an opinion on. And that's the fault of Green Bay. Like, you have to trade him at this point. You can't say, oh well, we'll see him for the next few years. But no, you don't get to do that because you literally gave the man the middle finger for the past 3 or 4 years. Like, this is all on you, and at this point, just trade him. And I don't even understand why the hell they didn't call the San Francisco 49ers, who had a top 5 pick, who had the 3rd overall pick, and didn't trade him there. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what the hell? I just don't understand how you messed this up. You don't mess this up. I'm pretty sure the 5 of us on this screen could have called Aaron Rodgers and said, "What do you want to do?" Even after he said he wanted to trade. Aaron Rodgers, what you want to do, bro? Common sense ain't common sense to everybody, but I think that's common sense well enough to say, okay, what you want to do? Instead of drafting a cornerback, and most people, Mark's draft wasn't even in the first round. That's what we're doing now. Green Bay should be mad at anybody but themselves, and this is all. Most of it is all. Now, Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, didn't play too good in the NFC Championship game. He had quite a few interceptions, and I think he needs to own that. He hadn't owned it at all, and I think, to your point, Tevin, about him being a jackass, you can say that's the reason why. But outside of that, he should at least have another Super Bowl ring, and the Green Bay Packers are the fault for that.
Yeah, this is definitely going to rear its ugly head for the Green Bay Packers moving forward, because it's only so long that you can allow this to happen before eventually this big thing with Aaron Rodgers is saying that he's not coming back before it takes place. Like, to Tuke's point, we all know Aaron Rodgers is a jackass, so it's like no points taken there. So we already knew that from the get-go. But yeah, for the Green Bay Packers to not only even talk to him with things of that nature, but not even surround him with the adequate weapons so that he could potentially have more than one Super Bowl. Now, don't get me wrong, Devontae Adams is great, but how long did it take Green Bay before they eventually got Devontae Adams? Literally, that was half of Aaron Rodgers' prime gone before Devontae Adams finally showed up. Of course, we know what happened in last year's draft, trading up to take Jordan Love, not taking a wide receiver in the first round to at least even try to do something to try and keep him around. And then, of course, not even being on the phone with at least 4 or 5 teams in the top 10 that needed a quarterback. Like, you should have been on the phone with at least one of those teams. San Francisco was perfect. Skylar, I feel like you're about to say something. Go ahead, man.
So much damn sense that Antonio Brown was a free agent for how long? And he signed with Tampa Bay for what, $6.5 million? Even if you didn't want to draft a wide receiver in the first round, or however long, because it took them a while to draft a wide receiver. I think maybe fourth round. I think from that's terrible.
Third round. Look at his name.
Even if you didn't want to do that, Antonio Brown sat there as a free agent for a very long time. At least go get Antonio Brown. Green Bay, this is your fault. And I would say Seattle is next because what they've done or what they haven't done with Russell Wilson. But we've already seen that they haven't done it either, and they clearly won't do anything to change it either. Just get out of your own damn way. It's frustrating that teams aren't just willing to listen to their star players. It's kind of sad for real.
It's sad, but that's all I got on the air.
Do y'all know the name of the wide receiver they actually drafted this year?
Yeah, Mark Rodgers. I know because the Titans.
Green Bay. I mean, petty. Just full
That's troll. That's a troll.
That is a troll. That is a huge troll right there.
Hey, they might trade A-Rod for Russell Wilson straight up. Makes sense.
Still don't mean the same situation down there.
Right.
I mean,
they both ain't gonna have offensive line. So
I said it yesterday. I said it on the draft night in group meet. Justin Fields is going to be the best quarterback in the NFC North, and he hasn't even played a game. That's sad.
I hope so.
No, it's not a hope so. It's literally because you got that's a fact. You got Jared Goff, Jordan Love, who's probably going to be the quarterback of the Packers, and then you have Kirk Cousins.
Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond.
You're right.
That's funny.
Drafted Kellen Mond. Yeah, speaking of the draft, G.
Yeah, thank you. Speaking about the draft and what the Packers did or did not do, we definitely want to talk about our teams let's be real, I believe all of us want to give some good reports about our teams, but I want to just go through our teams and the lineup is up. Skylar 2, Trevor Cap. What you liked about the draft, one thing you liked or a couple things you liked and one thing that you definitely did not like, and maybe what's one off-season acquisition that you would like to happen, which would be ideal for you all. And again, we're going to start with Skylar, then move on through. The order is in the chat.
For me, I'm excited. Trevor and I have talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers needing a running back for quite some time. We did our What's Wrong with Their Favorite Team a few weeks ago, and we talked about the lack of offensive line that we had last year. Okay, too. That's what we're doing now. We talked about the lack of offensive line. We talked about the lack of a running game that we had. And, Najee Harris fell right in the laps of the Pittsburgh Steelers on draft night on Thursday. I am excited. I have been on cloud nine since then. I understand that you need a good offensive line to help your running game. But damn it, if Najee Harris is going to fall in your lap, then take it and worry about the offensive line later. So we did that in the first round. So I am very excited about that. Second round, did not address the offensive line in a sense, but we did draft the really good tight end, Mr. I'm calling him Big Pat because I cannot pronounce his last name.
I think it's
Fryer, whatever you just said. Now he did run out. He ran all over and threw Memphis in the Cotton Bowl a couple of years ago, so I do remember that. But he's a good blocking tight end, and so we also do need a tight end because again, Trevor and I wouldn't say hate. Hate is not a good thing. It's not a good word to use. But damn it, I do not like I hate when players drop the football. And Eric Ebron has the worst hands, second worst hands that I've probably ever seen in my life. So we did address the tight end situation. I think third round and fourth round we went back-to-back offensive line. And I think for the most part from tape, it looks like we got some pretty good offensive linemen. So I'm excited about that. Plus, we got a new offensive line coach because the offensive line coach was terrible last year. And I think, our offense will look even better because now you have Najee Harris there. You have a running back there. It's pretty much a three-down back. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I think that's going to be good for Ben Roethlisberger and the offense from there. As far as offseason move that we can probably still make. I'm trying to think who was out there, and I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. But is it Casey Hayward? I can't remember the defensive back from the Chargers, and I think he was released. Yes, I think he's still available. And if I'm the Steelers, that's who I go get, because granted, you still have Joe Hayden there, but Joe Hayden is getting up there in age. And then you let the other corner go. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Stephen Nelson.
Yes, let Stephen Nelson go. But Cam Sutton is taking that role. Cam Sutton, I think he's good. But I don't think he has enough reps yet. And I think going to go get Hayward, as he's still as a free agent, I think that would solidify that secondary and that defense. So that's what I would do. But I really like what we did in the draft.
I absolutely love everything that we did in the draft. Went ahead and beefed up a shutdown corner who we felt was the best defensive player in the draft, and with J.C. Horn from South Carolina. I mean, that's a debate we'll definitely see over the season. But an immediate corner to come right in, I'm all here for. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that damn NFC South where you got to cover everybody and their cousins. So I'm definitely excited for that, especially looking at his numbers and the way that he held, top receivers to their minimums is dope to me. So looking forward to that. We drafted Terrence Marshall. I already got that chemistry, the LSU chemistry with offensive coordinator Joe Brady. So excited to see what they got going. But my favorite pick would probably be Brayton Christensen from BYU. He, I guess, holds the pro football record for a tackle. So, I mean, that's a stat that's been around for like since 20 years. And, for him to come in and breaking records and, as a pass rush blocker, that means we're literally giving the ball to Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, my biggest disappointment, I guess, will be personally that we passed on Justin Fields. I think that he has the potential to be one of the better, if not the best, quarterbacks in the draft. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to create that controversy, that added pressure to Sam Darnold when, all of us on the pod has said we're looking forward to seeing Sam Darnold in the Panthers uniform. So we went ahead and got some protection for him, doing everything that the Jets do. And I'm really excited. Off season, we can find, I guess, another safety. That'll put. I'm kind of getting Legion of Doom vibes. Shout out to Scott Fitterer, our general manager, who's doing an amazing job. Who was there for the Legion of Boom, and what he's doing now is literally the exact same thing that we saw from the Seahawks. So that was championship winning football. Hoping to see what's up with my Carolina Panthers. So, but now I'm a happy camper. Keep pounding. Let's go.
Before Trevor goes, I think it's so funny, and I think we've all watched enough football to where we now get excited about offensive linemen being taken in the draft. Like, you be like, oh, we got an offensive lineman, because we needed it. Like, I think earlier in our football day, you're like, no, we need a receiver, we need a running back, we need a quarterback. Like, you think about like the main positions, but if you don't have a good offensive line or a good defensive line, I would say everybody else's job is almost irrelevant. Like the game is controlled from the line of scrimmage, for real.
Yeah. And that's a perfect good segue. Hashtag them trenches, because I will highlight those trenches for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the draft. As Scott already mentioned with Najee Harris, we're not going to even go any further into there. Getting Kendrick Green, the center and guard from Illinois, as well as Dan Moore from Texas A&M, of course, was just almost a match made in heaven for Pittsburgh, because Big Ten offensive lineman, we already know how that is. And then, of course, you guys know how I feel about the SEC, so alignment from the SEC as well. So those two, of course, we use to beef up the offensive line. It's going to be exciting going forward. We use the rest of our picks primarily on defense to add much more depth, which we definitely needed on defense, especially at the edge rusher and linebacker spots. The last pick, which we took a punter, which I had a question mark about, but then again, I thought about Mike Tomlin, how he used to do like crazy plays where he's either going for it on fourth down or running fake punts and things of that nature. And this guy, Presley Harvin, of course, one of his highlights is he's actually ran a fake punt and threw a pass for a touchdown. So if he's going to be used in that capacity, as well as being great at his job as a punter, he could beat out Jordan Berry for that spot. But overall, I'm excited for everything with Pittsburgh. I'm glad we took a chance to address the offensive line. One thing that I would like for the Steelers to do in the offseason, to Skylar's point, because it was my point as well, we need to add someone else at corner. And I think the guy from the Chargers that he mentioned is a good piece. Because we lost Steven Nelson. Cam Sutton is good. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to the Vols on that one. Cam Sutton is good, but he's gonna slide in nicely, I believe. I'm looking for a big year from him. As Skylar mentioned, Joe Hayden is getting up there in age, so if we can address the cornerback situation in this offseason, I think things are looking up for the Steelers.
Cool. And pick it back off your Hunter draft. The Panthers and a couple other things drafting long snappers. Saw quite a bit of long snappers getting drafted. Makes me think back when I played football, why I didn't just try to become a long snapper or something. I could have made it to the league over here. Like special teams, people make it to the league off special teams alone. So need to hear there. But Titans overall, like I said, I go to a deeper dive on Let's Tighten Up, come out episode Tuesday, breaking down the draft. I went live for draft for Tyson Truth. Shout out to my guy Chris for having me on. We was live throughout the whole draft, first, second, and third round, Thursday and Friday. But Titans like draft. You want to know that based on Twitter, but solid pick, Caleb Farley. I'm not big on injury questions, right? As long as the team does right by them. Everybody wants to. We're in a microwave society, so everybody wants immediate production, which Caleb Farley might play this year. But if you manage players right, injury questions are not. Injuries happen. It could be a person that been healthy their whole life and start getting hurt when they get to the NFL. So I ain't for all of that. Second round, we took a tackle. Unfortunately, Isaiah Wilson, this stuff happened last year with him. We had to replace him. So I like to pick a guy from North Dakota State who blocked for Trey Lance. We had a steal with Elijah Molden in the third round, another cornerback. So we had bad defense last year. Our GM went out this offseason, and we addressed defense. The whole draft, we drafted mostly defensive players. We got another steal in the fourth round with Rashad Weaver, the edge rusher for Pittsburgh, and we spent over $100 million on defensive players. We revamped the whole defense. So we took a little bit away from the offense, but we're going to improve defensively, hopefully. And going forward, Titans fans on this Julio Jones trade, I'm of the opinion I don't think Julio Jones will actually get traded. But I'll say we do need a receiver and a tight end. Maybe trade, since we did take a linebacker, maybe trade with Sean Evans for Njoku or O.J. Howard, both tight ends who are in shaky situations with Cleveland and Tampa Bay, and sign, I think, Golden Tate. I'm looking forward to signing Golden Tate. Now, if they weren't traded for Julio, that's fine with me, but that cap hit is pretty big. I really don't think Atlanta's really going to trade him as well. But I know a lot of Titans fans are arguing. Some don't even want Julio, which is stupid, but hey, next.
Got it. So my name today is How About Them. So I'm definitely going to come from the Cowboys perspective, of course, because that's my team. And I will first say I didn't get a chance to watch the draft because my sister, who kind of like surprised me, came into town, so I didn't get a chance to watch the draft live. However, when I saw us trade right for the Eagles pick, I didn't know what was left and why we did it, right? So to me, it was breaking news. And when I saw our pick for the 12th pick, I said, was there no corner available that we could have took? Like Newsome from Northwestern, even though cornerbacks were actually kind of gone, I guess. But who we picked up in the second round, I think is like maybe just as well as him, with Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky. Had some good ball. He played in the SEC, so I'll take that. And then with Micah Parsons, I think he really just elevates our linebacking core. We really haven't gotten what we need to get out of Leighton Vander Esch these past 2 seasons, to the point about injuries, due to injuries, and he's on the last year of his rookie contract. So who knows if we are, who knows if we will bring him back or not. And so solidifying that with Jalen Smith, I think, is great. As you all know, we picked up plenty on defense. I think also one of our steals was also on defense with Jabril Cox from LSU. He has slid down pretty far into, I think, the 4th round, I believe, late 3rd, early 4th round. And so to get a player like that, and the SEC, to you guys' point, was huge. And then also there's a kid from Oregon State, Nashawn Wright, who maybe not as skill-wise, but the kid is 6'4" at corner. And so bulk him up a little bit and put him in this Dan Quinn system. I look forward to seeing what we can do. Now, another pick that I actually like too was the offensive tackle from Marshall. He's almost 6'8", 6'7.5". And the entire season last season, he did not allow a single sack. That could be 6 games. It could be 12 games. I don't care how you put that. But to know that that side of the ball is covered and you don't have to worry about someone coming to attack you is fantastic. And so that would be my moves. And I'm glad that we did address the offensive tackle position. Actually, offensive tackles were taking the most in this draft for that. Now, I will say that one thing I hope we actually still address, I would love if there was any way that any pass rusher was available for the Cowboys. We get offensive tackles back. We got our quarterback back. We're really decent on offense. And I'm so glad Kyle Pitts wasn't available, by the way. I didn't say that earlier because I actually think Jerry would have jerried and gotten Kyle Pitts at the 10th pick if anyone would have gotten from 1 through 9. But immediate Buckner, someone like that will really disrupt what we have going, I think would be awesome. Let's give our safeties a chance. We just signed a new one who works with Dan Quinn with Neil, my fault. And so that would be the only move I would like to see as well. Maybe a guard, offensive guard, but a defensive tackle. The game is won in the trenches. And let me say this before I do pass over to Toot. So we talk NBA. There's head coaches, and then there's offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. The next ones in line monetarily need to be offensive and defensive line coaches in the store. And that pay grade doesn't need to be different than maybe $2. But those need to be paid because, again, the game was won in trenches. I agree, and we've always said that. But that make everyone else's job much easier. When your offensive line and defensive line are controlling the line of scrimmage and are dictating how to run the ball, pass the ball, or play defense, it makes everyone's job easier. So to me, again, offensive, defensive line coaches right after that. Kicking over to Toot for NBA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's get it, gentlemen. 9 games left into the season, but we're going to go ahead and take this time. I think we got a good amount of data, as we said on the Storm 5 podcast, of knowing who we would like for our award picks. So yeah, I go ahead and start us off, man, and we got the order as such. Rookie of the year. I go ahead and start. My rookie of the year would be LaMelo Ball still, even though he missed a significant amount of time. He's back. And 9 games left, and the Hornets could make the playoffs. I mean, they were top 4, top 5 seed when he was when he was around. He was putting up crazy numbers. He was much TV for us. So mine would be LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball's become must-see TV. When we first did this, I said that I didn't think that one of the first 3 guys picks would be actually Rookie of the Year. I don't want to recant my statement, but I will recant that statement. And I believe that as they continue to push, I believe Anthony Edwards can make a very serious case for Rookie of the Year. LaMelo Ball is great. Again, love him, but I think Anthony Edwards could make a very, very big splash for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's LaMelo Ball, and I think everybody else is just kind of waiting to make sure that he got the award as well. It's kind of easy for me.
Yeah, it's open and shut at this point. Rookie of the Year is LaMelo Ball. He's single-handedly turned Charlotte into must-see TV. They're on the cusp of the playoffs. They'll be in the play-in. Don't think they'll actually get in the playoffs, but this is a sign of things to come in Charlotte. So, yeah, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball. It's cute what Anthony Edwards is doing. LaMelo Ball.
All right. Let's go on to most improved, which I'm pretty sure all of us have the same pick. Speaking for Savage and myself, even though it should be Kyle Anderson, I wouldn't mind if Julius Randle go ahead and get that nod. So that's who I got. See who we got.
Yeah, Julius Randle, and I'll think of another segment later on, but Julius Randle definitely deserves MIP. I think if we were just talking about over the last maybe 10 games, you can also sprinkle in MPJ as well for MIP. But overall, the season, definitely Julius Randle. So you can stamp that.
Yeah, definitely Julius Randle for me. I kind of wish that, as much as we kind of don't like him, but Zion has been balling. And so I know that, he did, well, his numbers now aren't what his numbers were last year. But it's definitely Julius Randle. But you can definitely, if you want to be technical about it, you can definitely say Zion Williamson as well.
Most definitely, but just given that everything that's transpired in New York, shout out Coach Savage, Julius Randle, and it's not even close.
Yep, Julius Randle easily. Michael Porter Jr. should be my second choice. She just points for the whole season. I mean, he jumped up from 9 to 19 points a game. Well, from 50 to 54% shooting. Yeah, he would be second, but Julius Randle.
Cool. All right, let me go with sixth man. Who is y'all sixth man of the year? I'll start off with Jordan Clarkson. He's averaging 17 points a game, second most on who may be the best team in the Western Conference statistic-wise. So that's what I got.
Yeah, ironically enough, here I'm actually torn, and they're all in the West. But it's either Jordan Clarkson, because someone from that team deserves some type of accolade at some point for what they've done. So you got to find some way, and we all know the NBA will find some way to give them something. If there's going to be anything, at least what Jordan Clarkson's been doing, and easing attention when it comes to if the players aren't doing well. Even when Donovan was out, it was seamless to have Jordan Clarkson in. My other perk would have been Porter, MPJ, and due to the amount of minutes and such like that, I think he's also a very good contender. But give me Jordan Clarkson. Again, another player that was drafted by the Lakers that is doing phenomenal because Julius Randle was the MIP. So there we go.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna keep it moving. Jordan Clarkson, who technically, if you want to think about it, could be considered for most improved as well, because Jordan Clarkson has been absolutely balling for the Utah Jazz coming off the bench. He's become a really good, not just a volume scorer, but a bucket getter for real. I think his 3-point percentage and how efficient he's shooting the three-pointer is, I never would have expected it, even when he played for the Lakers. And I was a JC fan for quite a minute, but he's knocking down threes like it's nobody's business. So Jordan Clarkson for me.
Strong case definitely could be made for Michael Porter Jr., but my pick is Jordan Clarkson. He's been that way all season. It's another runaway for me. So Jordan Clarkson.
Okay, to make the show boring for the viewers, but Jordan Clarkson and Michael Porter Jr. is just a second place finisher in every team.
All right. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty, because I'm pretty sure we're going to have some different choices on this one. Defensive player of the year. I'm going to go with...
Now we cooking.
now it's about to cook. Now we're cooking with fire. And I'm going to go ahead and put the steak right on the grill. I'm going to call for Ben Simmons. Mr. Ben Simmons has guarded literally positions 1 through 5. He's top 10 in steals. And he's going to be the reason why the Sixers are number 2 in the East. He's doing his thing defensively. I'm a fan of it, especially with Joel missing a lot of time. So mine has Ben Simmons.
I was just about to say, speaking of
dancing.
No.
Let me know the thing.
It definitely won't be Rudy Gobert's. And so defensive player of the year, to me, I think may come down to maybe 2 players. I think Ben Simmons is one, but the other is my pick that I chose at the beginning of the season, which is Bam. Bam is, to your point, yes, Ben Simmons can guard. I don't want to say 5 because I don't believe he can guard all 5s, but I also don't think Bam can guard all 1s. But when you look at the pick and roll and what Bam does to players one-on-one in a pick and roll situation, he is elite above everyone else. And not saying he's the best one, but statistically, those teams, I can't remember exactly what the tweet was, or the stats, I should say, because it was a stat from a tweet. However, they are shooting no one shot higher than 22% from teams and players that are all-stars. when they were getting switched on to Bam. And low key, I think there was only maybe 2 players that shot in the 20s when everyone else is below. His frame and what he does and his ability to move with those feet, incredible. I got to give it to Bam, but I know for sure it ain't going to Giannis.
Yeah, I don't think Giannis is getting any love for that award. But no, you took mine, which is Bam. I think Ben Simmons will get it, but Bam has been clamping people for the Miami Heat. His ability, he looks just like Anthony Davis. When Anthony Davis is right, he looks just like Anthony Davis when he's playing defense. Being able to guard 1 through 5, being able to, whoever his primary defender is for that particular game or that series, he's locking them down. And I've seen countless video clips of him clamping down guards, him clamping down forwards, big men, and things like that of that nature. I would vote Bam, but I don't think Bam will go get. I think Ben will get it, but I would vote Bam.
Yeah, of course, it's most definitely not going to be Giannis, the same Giannis that was scared to guard Jimmy Butler. Let's just keep it a buck there. Ben Simmons had, in my opinion, had a chance to lock this up in that big game they had against the Brooklyn Nets, and then Kyrie Irving cooked them. So, with that being said, my defensive player of the year, I'm going to agree with Sheedy and Scholar. It's going to be Bam Adebayo. It's countless footage of Bam just being able to guard. I think he can guard 2 through 5. I'm not sure about 1, but 2 through 5, most definitely he can guard. Just his action on defending the pick and roll has been outstanding for the Heat. And, I'm just going to leave it at that. Bam Adebayo is my deep boy this year.
Well, I ain't going to leave you on the island since your other brother decided to. I'm going to be with you. Ben Simmons, man. Bam. This is close, though. Between him and Bam, this is really close. Hopefully it's close. Hopefully they don't give it to Rudy Gobert. But give me Ben Simmons. I'm ready for a guard to win this. I'm tired of the big men. There are some great defensive guards out here, man. And Ben Simmons can guard almost every position. Really, he can guard every position outside of some bigger fives. And also, maybe hinting my MVP award winner here. But Philadelphia, similar to Utah, I feel like somebody should win. Yeah, I'm leaving it at that.
Yeah, and can Savage, since you're listening, you can go and drop your picks in here too. We can go and post those, Savage.
Yeah, since you're talking about you lucky you ain't on, go ahead.
Go ahead and drop them in the comments.
Go ahead and drop your picks, Savage. You're already in here.
Who from the Knicks can get defensive player of the year?
I think he chose Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he did.
Let's see what you guys have. We're gonna continue with Coach of the Year. Like I said, we put the steak on the grill now. I'm pretty sure we won't all agree with this one. My pick will be Mr. Monty Williams. You took a team that didn't go to the playoffs last year, and they they may or may not have the best seed in the whole NBA. I think that has to do with, of course, coaching, but of course surrounding, your star players with talent. And, it's a combination of both going on in Phoenix right now that's making it great basketball to watch, winning basketball. So shout out to Monty Williams, Coach Savage for Coach of the Year. He's second choice.
I agree.
Second choice.
Because I wouldn't vote for Tom Thibodeau, so I'll give it to Savage if that was an option.
Yeah, and so with that being said, you're gonna hate my pick. So I'm down to 2 people. Again, couldn't make my conscious decision. And these 2 coaches, I hope neither one of them actually get Coach of the Year, honestly. But I think it would be this way. One, I think is Doc Rivers. And say what you want about Doc Rivers and not win the big game, yes. But was Joel and Ben giving you this type of production last season? No. And so I really think that Joel was not nowhere near in the MVP candidate race like he is. We weren't talking about Ben Simmons being a lockdown.
Half of that is on the coaching. That's a debate for another day, but half of that is on the coaching.
Yeah. Right. So hence why I believe he could. And the other one is Tom Thibodeau. I mean, the Knicks are arguably a team that you don't want to play, whether it's at Madison Square Garden or not. But yeah, I did say Doc Rivers. I said what I said, and if he gets the award, make sure you come back and put this post up.
Well, Sharky, trust me, you ain't got to worry about coming back and bringing that post up because he ain't getting it. And we definitely know, as we talked about on starting five, Taylor Jenkins ain't getting it either. So I'm going to go with Monty Williams for Coach of the Year. I think what he's done with that Phoenix Suns team. Now, granted, the West is a little down this year. I don't think many people will say that. And the Eastern Conference is down a little bit too. So Sheedy, you can hold your little Doc Rivers moment. But it's Monty Williams for me, dog.
Monty Williams was my pick before the season. Monty Williams will remain my pick going forward. Self-explanatory. Next.
Well, according to our GBB fam, Taylor Jenkins is overachieving since the Grizzlies supposed to be playoffs technically without injuries. But Taylor Jenkins is my choice. It's between I'm gonna go with Monty Williams, but it's tough. Doc Rivers is a legit candidate, whether y'all like it or not. Philadelphia went from a 6 seed to 1 seed. Yeah, he don't win in the playoffs. This is a regular season award. That's why it's a regular season award. Doc Rivers is in the running, but I think Monty Williams is my pick. Tom Thibodeau, he might be second. But it can go anyway. Gwen Sykes can get him. I mean, Utah jumped from wherever they was at 6-7 to number 1. So I mean, this is a tough award, but I give Monty Williams that. Phoenix was nowhere near the playoffs. Chris Paul, I wish he could get some type of award for just he literally he's the missing. He goes there. They go from 9, 10 seed 10 to battling for number 1, tied for 1 right now. So
yep.
Yeah, and in that same vein, don't forget. I don't know why you didn't mention him. I think Steve Kerr's doing an okay job to keep the Warriors afloat.
All right, I'm head out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he gonna bring up Steve Kerr.
Do you want to join the Warriors bandwagon with me? I think that
I really thought he was gonna bring up Steve Nash, but bro, okay.
He said Kerr.
He said Kerr, but
I honestly think you got more faith in the Warriors making the playoffs than I do, and I don't.
I do. Let's have some controversy. I'm down. Today's the day.
No, it's not. Today's not the day. It's not. Sheedy. It's not. It's not.
Babs, don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
How you gonna troll us from the couch, bro? Get out the comments if you gonna keep trolling us.
Oh, man, there we go. There you go. Shot it. You back, bro?
Start next one. Nothing to see here.
We got one award left, right?
We got one award left, you know.
The award.
Yeah, it's the award. Mr. MVP. Who is y'all MVP? I will go ahead and, like I said, go ahead and call it Mr. Nikola Jokic. They're looking like they're gonna finish the top 4 seed. They are 12-3 with Jamal Murray even being out, so they know how to play winning basketball. And just the simple fact that he's played 20 plus more games than Embiid is literally the only reason why I picked Jokic over Embiid. But 26, 11, and 8.5 assists. Hey, good job, Jokic. Good job. You got Sheeta, come on.
I mean, controversy is knocking at my door, so I'm going to go and answer the door right here. And I'm telling you, it won't be. It no need to be Giannis. I can tell you that. There's no 3 in a row for him. I'm sorry, it's over. It's done. But as I said at the beginning of the season, and I'm gonna stick to this one, Joker's MVP. After I watched that 50-piece performance that he gave the Kings, even though they lost that game, he stood for his team for 48 minutes. And that's something that I can't say about other players, whether it's LeBron, Joel, whoever it may be. He stood tall, and now he's still winning with one of his star players. Well, actually, the other star player really being out. And so Joker's been carrying this team. You want to look at the amount of games, look at the substance of the games as well. What is he doing inside those games? Assisting, leading to, more players, Michael Porter Jr., getting more reps as well. So Joker it is. But Chris Paul has a very good case because the Thunder are buns, and the Suns are hot. So that's a very open and shut case as well.
For me, I'm going to announce my pick, tuck my tail and run. I'm going Joel Embiid. That's it.
Yes, thank you.
You said why?
Yeah, even though like he's missed almost half the season.
He's missed quite a few games, but the games he has played, he's looked like the most dominant big man, at least in today's game, or at least this year. It took a damn long time for him to do that, but I don't think he'll get it just because the game's missed. But again, if I had to pick, I'm going Joel Embiid.
I'm going to agree with those sentiments. Joel Embiid is my MVP. I always say until it changes, the best big man in the game resides in Philadelphia. But I honestly feel that Nikola Jokic will get it just for the simple fact that he's been on the court the longest and he's played the most games. And I'm not going to pass this along without mentioning that Chris Paul 100% should definitely be in the conversation for MVP as well. Just what he's done practically his entire career at this point. Like everywhere he's gone, that team has been like piles and piles better than what they were before. So, but yeah, if I had to choose somebody, it would be Joel Embiid for MVP for me.
Yep, and for everybody who wants to throw stats out there for including Chris Paul in it, Steve Nash won MVP on some similar stats. So,
as Chris a member Paul, of the Phoenix
Suns, right? Like good one. Right.
I'll bring it up.
Chris Paul can win MVP, but I'm gonna give it to. This is tough. It's close between Jokic and Embiid, but it's not only because of the amount of games played. But I'm gonna give it to Jokic, man. He almost averaging triple double. This man, a center is averaging 8.5 assists, and still found averaging 26 points and 11 rebounds. And since Jamal Murray has been hurt, the Nuggets have been 9-1. Since your second best player has been out, he's adding to 9-1.
I don't know why I count about the 12-3. I don't know. They barely low. Nash is there this year. 1 year.
Yeah, not both.
Yeah, no.
I gave him one. The
first year. The first year.
And even that's debatable.
Yeah, it is. But similar to when Chris Paul this year, the Suns went from whatever to number 1 seed. So if he can get it that first year, Phoenix doing the exact same thing they're doing now, Chris Paul. Literally.
That's gonna be fun. All right. And of course, we had I have one for fun. If y'all don't have one, it's cool. Since I did just come up with it last minute, but most disappointing player for the season. We just talked about one for an hour, so I let him be on y'all's if y'all want to roll with him. But I'm gonna say Gary Harris. He was supposed to be that backcourt mate with Jamal Murray. It's actually averaging like 17 points a game like a couple seasons ago. Now he's only averaging like 10, 11. Got traded to the Magic. So if I had to call out somebody very disappointing to me, it would be Gary Harris.
Can you pass on me and I'll come right back? I promise.
I may not. Well, I think Sharky may be a fan of this as I say it, but Jimmy Butler to me has been a little disappointing to me. And to me, yes, I think with him being the leader of the Miami Heat and where they are in the Eastern Conference standings, I think they should be much higher than they are. Now, granted, he missed some games, but he's played quite a fair share of his games too. And I just think that they should be much better than they are with him being the leader. And this isn't talking about his stats. This is just more so me talking as far as where I think the Miami Heat should be when it comes to, contenders in the Eastern Conference. And I don't think many people are, mentioning the Heat because right now they aren't playing well and they haven't played well for most of the season. So for me, that's who it is.
Yeah. For me, I'm going Giannis. I've seen no progression in his game from the 2 MVP seasons. They're just setting up for another disappointment in the playoffs, in the conference finals, whoever they may end up facing.
If you get there.
Exactly. If he gets there. So, yeah.
That's a no for him. No for him.
Yeah, it's Giannis for me.
I'm sticking with Miami Heat because Jimmy Butler ain't had no help by these. It's the top between these two, Tyler Hero and Goran Dragic. I ain't seen no progression. I ain't seen Goran Dragic is taking a step back, and I ain't seen nothing from Tyler Hero that suggests that he's gonna be more than what he is right now.
I ain't heard Tyler Hero's name since the Jack Harlow collaboration. So that's how bad it's been for Tyler Hero.
And the Heat's record with Jimmy Butler out is like atrocious. They're like 1-10 or something like that. So he's kept them
Sure.
to what they are now. He's literally carried them.
My bad.
He's carried them.
Tyler Hero's a good one.
Damn, my bad.
This actually Jim Butler's one of his best seasons. Like,
Oh, okay.
Oh, I said
It's okay.
wow.
Yeah, it's really like when he's been out for certain games, so like he'll come back for some games, but then sit back out as well. So he hasn't been consistently in. But yeah, to the point that Shark is making, Hero has made no progression up after having what seemed to be a great playoff run. And I know.
I said that, but you know how we really did call such a later took. We really just commented later.
Imagine I trade Ben Simmons for Harden. It's the same thing. You know, it's a little bit better.
And let's be honest, Harden could be an MVP candidate too. As well.
Before he got hurt, before he got hurt.
And so to me, a disappointing player, and it's really been since like February. It's been Zach LaVine. The Bulls made I thought would be a solid trade to get some help in the front court, and Zach LaVine and the Bulls have completely fallen off. They're almost on my Rockets radar as well. Go ahead. Okay.
Well, I can't say Zach LaVine caught COVID. They fell off after because he hasn't played in like 2 weeks since he got COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when they just completely
he was an all-star.
Dropped after that.
Yeah, and after that trade, I wanted better more for them. So I still will give it to Zach LaVine. Hate that COVID. I know what COVID can really bring you down, but to me, I wanted to see more from Zach LaVine. So
he was an all-star.
They got some roster.
He said since February.
Oh, since February.
Okay.
Yeah, he was already picked to be an all-star by then.
So he worked hard to be an all-star. So I bet it got.
The Bulls got to address their roster. They got to figure out who's going to be part of this Bulls team going forward. So we know it's going to be Vucci LaFleur and Zach LaVine, but who else is going to be on this squad?
That's Bulls, man. They're going to do Bulls things. Savage. I'm never going to be a Bulls fan again, bro. So stop it.
Yeah, you said it. You never went back, bro. I'm proud of you.
I mean, what's up to go back to?
That sounds like a broken relationship.
Can we have this conversation?
That sounds like a broken relationship. Sharky ain't even trying to go back to no more. Sharky's like,
bro, I have usually you would think I still have like some type of care for them, but I don't even pay attention to them no more at all.
Can we I know this we didn't plan this, but can we have like a quick just second real talk? How many times could you give somebody the time to change things? Can they just once?
How many times you change things?
I'm not talking about you. It's context besides my point.
No, I mean I'm asking like how many times. No, it's a legit question.
How many times we're talking about basketball or football?
We can just say
I know you ain't changed football.
It applies.
I don't know, a couple.
How long we been doing this podcast?
3 years.
All right, cool. That's how many times you changed.
I'll say I give it 3. I think 3 years is enough to kind of assess what the team is doing. So
no, the reason I ask is because like when the Patriots are winning, my mom and my brother are the biggest fans. And now that they're losing, I literally almost had to cuss my brother and my mama out for trying to switch teams. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, because I didn't they almost block you on Twitter because they drafted Mac Jones?
Yeah. So that's why I just want to ask it, just real quickly, y'all. Like, because I can't accept my mom and brother not being Patriots fans because they've been on my ass for forever for being a Panthers.
Nah, they gotta be Patriots fans, dog. Nah,
they gotta stay through it. They gotta stay through it. I'm sorry.
Did they follow Tom Brady to Tampa?
No, my mama did.
I probably give that exception, but what's your brother? Where your brother go?
Nah, he talking about Arizona. He's trying to go. He's trying to follow Kyler Murray. Nope.
He's a fan of a player, not a fan of a team.
They've been Patriots since they've been winning, bro. For as long as they've been winning, they've been Patriots 20 years. You can like a couple of years of mediocrity.
We should know your mama was Tom Brady.
It said like your mom was more a TB12 fan than the Patriots.
No. My mama's got cussed out too. I love my mama though. I'm just saying, y'all know our relationship.
That's what's up.
All right.
Is it about that time for Ellen of the Month? Yes, indeed.
Yes, man. Hold to Zell. All right. We got 4 candidates. Trevor, you had one that we did a month ago on the episode with the 2021 college dunk contest. For the viewers, y'all just have to go back to the episode. We have to show that again. Paul Pierce is fired for ESPN sometime in April. It's been dang, bro. Time has flown. Seemed like that was so long ago now. And Indiana basketball, hired Mike Woodson after failing to get Brad Stevens and offer him a whole significantly less amount of money to coach. And new right before the month April ends, shout out to the Green Bay Packers for the whole Aaron Rodgers situation. So, who is your L of the month?
I'm always big on impact when it comes to this award. It's the Green Bay Packers because they have only won 1 Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, and they will eventually, at some point very soon, trade Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think they would have gotten as much back as they would have wanted to because they didn't trade him during the draft. So it's Green Bay for me.
Green Bay probably would win this, but I'm sticking with my original pick of the dunk contest because the object of a dunk contest is to make a dunk. And I'm just not going to go over it. Like, it's on YouTube. If you watch it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to stick with my pick of L of the month, but I think Green Bay, if we left it to a poll, Green Bay probably takes this. No questions asked.
My vote will be also the dunk contest, simply for the other people. For one, with Green Bay is karma. If you're going to be a jackass QB, you're going to find yourselves in jackass situations. You know, you're going to have a team draft a wide receiver and also with the initials A Rodgers, and you're still going to be looking like, hey, I guess I can have an A Rodgers connection with a team I don't want to play for. So that's just karma in itself. As far as Paul Pierce goes, hey, my man got a weed farm now, so that's a W right now. So I mean, if that's the reason you get fired for ESPN to market your weed, you could have done a better job. You could have linked up with Steve Urkel to market your weed, but it is what it is for right now. So if I had to choose one, like you said, my alien brother, the dunk contest, you're supposed to make at least one dunk. Yeah.
I do have a question real quick on Paul Pierce. Now, is it because he got fired from ESPN, or is it the way in which he was fired from ESPN that could constitute as an L?
I mean, for me, it's that box fade that he had. That's my reason why I think he should be on L of the month. That's neither here nor there. But I think that's a good question. I think it's the way in which he was fired. I think that would be a better question.
Okay, yeah, because if it's just him being fired, then it's not really an L because it's a W because of what Tu just said. But if it's in the way in which he was fired, then we might have to, take a look at that a little bit more closely.
Yeah, it's the way.
And he was probably smoking his own weed. We thought it was CBD at first.
I mean, he had to get fired for something, so it's the way.
Okay.
Let me advocate. Sorry about that. I'm advocating for the element for Indiana University. My reason behind this is Brad Stevens' contract and the negotiations for Brad Stevens to leave from Boston to Indiana was huge. It was 7 years. It was $70 million. They're paying that man $10 million a season to coach college basketball, which very rarely happens unless you're more of the blue blood colleges, Kentucky, Dukes, North Carolina, things of that nature, Indiana, clearly. But instead hired Mike Woodson, or gave an offer to Mike Woodson, which we don't know publicly how much he's making, but I've heard it's significantly less. It's for less guaranteed years, which is only 6 as compared to 10 that they were guaranteeing Brad Stevens. And Mike Woodson, of course, took the job because he's from Indiana. He's got a lot of backroots about it. But what we heard on media was so much about how Brad Stevens is Indiana's good old boy. However, Mike Woodson actually is also from there as well, and is why I think a big reason why he accepted the role and the job. But King, know your worth, because if they're gonna offer him $10 million, why they're not offering you $10 million? That doesn't make sense to me. And so that's my other month. So he's gonna coach there, yes, but at significantly less to prove that you're just as good. You're only one of 14 black coaches in the top 5 power conferences. We got to do better. Shout out to Juwan Howard.
I'm going to put it like this. They'll be looking for another coach in 3 years. So, there you go.
Like college basketball has to win because mine is Paul Pierce. And since y'all have 2, and so everybody else is 1. 2021 college basketball slam dunk contest.
Excuse me, good people. Excuse me, good people. Hold this L.
There you go. L of the month. 2021 college basketball dunk contest. All right. That does it for today. Anybody got any last words?
Yes, within the next couple of weeks, be on the lookout. Let's Be Real Media presents Blitzburg County, the Let's Be Real Media affiliate for all things Pittsburgh Steelers. The first episode will be coming in the next couple of weeks. We'll be touching, of course, on the draft and any other news that comes out between now and the first episode. So be on the lookout.
Cool.
Proud of y'all, man.
NFL schedule comes out May the 12th, so right in line.
There you go, right around in range. So, hey, be on the lookout.
Cool. Definitely have to do some collabs, especially when the Titans and Steelers play. We're skipping a week. We'll be off next week. So everybody, all the mothers who watch us, specifically us guys, mother-in-law, happy Mother's Day. And I'll be recording y'all day next week. So we'll return on May the 16th.
I guess this one, the episode is to say I almost cussed my mom out, huh?
Yeah, let's just have Sharky take that part out.
Nah, we live. What okay, no, it is.
Hey, she know that, man. They know the same. I love them.
Right, we live.
I love them. Come on.
All right, man. The next item. Peace.
Stay black.
Peace.